Hello students, this is Professor A.S. Rao. Today we shall be discussing the theory on design of beams in steel structures. First of all we shall be discussing the theory part, then we will discuss a problem. Okay. Design of beams. First of all let us see the definition of a beam. Beam is nothing but a structural member which carries lateral loads. You all know column is an axially loaded member. Similarly, beams are laterally loaded members because we apply loads perpendicular to its axis. Hence, it is called a laterally loaded member. Because of lateral loading, the beam bends, and hence they are primarily called as flexure members. They are called as flexure members. Now coming to types of beams. There are three types. First one is simple beams. In simple beams we will be using a single cross section like I section, channel section, T section and all. Okay. The second one is built up beams. Of course we all know the built up beams also. Here we will be using more than one section for the beam. So like I section with the two plates, one plate at top and one plate at bottom, or I section with a channel on its top. Like this we will be using built up beams also. And third category is plate girders, in which we use only plates. You see here is a plate, and one more plate is put on top of it and it is welded, and one more plate is kept at bottom and it is welded. Here also you see one vertical plate, one horizontal plate at the top, and one plate at bottom, and these plates are connected by means of angles. Okay, these are called plate girders. These are called plate girders. One minute please. Okay, types of beams based on lateral support are laterally unsupported beams and laterally supported beams. Okay, now these are the examples for these beams. You see here, this is the first case. This is an I section over which RCC slab is simply lying on it. There is no connection between slab and I section. So in this case, the beam becomes laterally unsupported. This is laterally unsupported because there is no connection between the slab and the flange of the I section. Now coming to these two cases, you see these two cases. In this case, the top flange of I section is embedded in the concrete slab. That means there is rigid connection between slab and top flange. So this is laterally supported beam. So the compression flange is supported by the slab, and hence this is a laterally supported beam. Here also a slab is laid over top flange of the I section, but there is connection between slab and top flange by means of connectors, shear connectors. See, this is called as a shear connector. This is welded to the I section and it is embedded into the concrete slab. Hence this is also laterally supported beam. So these two are laterally supported beams and this is laterally unsupported beam. So here in case of laterally unsupported beam, the lateral buckling will takes place. But in case of laterally supported beams, lateral buckling may not takes place. Lateral buckling means what? Here we know that top flange will be under compression in case of sagging. So when this flange comes under compression, there is a chances of buckling. So the top flange may buckle if it is laterally unsupported. But here, because it is supported, the buckling can be avoided. So lateral buckling can be avoided in this case. Of course we have to refer the IS 800 2007 for steel structures, and this code adopts plastic design for beams because concrete concrete adopts the limit state design, whereas this IS 800 adopts plastic design for steel structures because steel is a highly ductile material. Of course, we all know from bending theory, the yield moment My equal to Fy into Zg, M is equal to F into Z, tells kada. So My equal to Fy into Zg. So this Zg is called as elastic section modulus. Similarly, plastic moment Mp equal to Fy into Zp. Here Zg and here Zp. This Zp is called as plastic section modulus. Of course, మనం ఇప్పటి వరకు జడ్జీ చాలాసార్లు చూస్తున్నాం, రెక్టాంగులర్ సెక్షన్ బీడీ స్క్వేర్ బై 6 అని అలాగా. ఓకే, సో జడ్జీ జడ్పి, అండ్ దిస్ రేషియో జడ్పి టు జడ్జీ ఈజ్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ షేప్ ఫ్యాక్టర్ ఎస్. షేప్ ఫ్యాక్టర్ ఎస్. ఓకే, and generally for I sections the shape factor ranges from 1.125 to 1.15. This is the range of shape factor for an I section. Now let us see the factors affecting plastic moment capacity of section. First factor is lateral buckling of compression flange. So when the compression flange buckles, then the strength of the beam decreases. Then of course the axial load on beam. If axial load is there on the beam, then the bending capacity decreases. Similarly, local buckling. Local buckling comes under the case of, the local buckling means web buckling, web crippling and flange buckling. Web buckling means like this. This is called, of course we know this is web, and this web buckles, that is called web buckling. If the buckling takes place at the mid height, it is web buckling, and if the buckling takes place at the lower end, this is called web crippling. This is web buckling and this is web crippling. The difference is here it occurs at mid section, mid height, and this occurs at the bottom of the section, this one here. So web buckling and web crippling, these two must be checked while designing the steel beams. Next, we have to classify the cross section that we are going to use. Okay, and coming to the classification of cross sections, there are 4 classes: class 1, class 2, class 3 and class 4. These are the classes of cross section. Class 1, another name is plastic section. Class 2 is another name is compact section. Class 3 are semi compact section, and class 4 sections are nothing but slender sections. So IS 800 deals these 3 types of sections, and IS 801, this IS 801 deals class 4 sections. So మనకి ఇప్పుడు IS 800 మనం కాబట్టి ఈ 3 సెక్షన్స్ డీల్ చేస్తాం. Okay, then of course we have seen MP, plastic moment capacity of a section. Okay, and in case of determinate structures, MP value is nothing but M max. Generally we will be constructing bending moment diagram, and from the bending moment diagram the maximum bending moment we get. That maximum bending moment is nothing but plastic moment in case of determinate structures. But in case of indeterminate structures, MP value is different from maximum bending moment, because in indeterminate structures redistribution of moments takes place. That you have to remember. So redistribution of moments takes place in case of indeterminate structures. In case of indeterminate structures. Now let us see design of laterally supported beams. You have to refer class number 8.2.1. Now we are going to see the design of beams. Okay, and as per section 8.2.1, you have to check the value of d by tw. D ante ఇది ఇది వచ్చి ఓవరాల్ క్యాపిటల్ డి, దిస్ ఈజ్ స్మాల్ డి. స్మాల్ డి ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఓవరాల్ డి మైనస్ థిక్నెస్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్లేంజెస్. This is D. TW is nothing but thickness of web. So D divided by TW value you have to calculate. And if this value comes out to be less than or equal to 67 epsilon, epsilon ante 250 by F under root. This is epsilon. So if this is less than 67 epsilon, then this section is not susceptible to shear web buckling. So it is not prone to web buckling. But if this value is more than 67 epsilon, then it is prone to shear web buckling. Of course, this is generally occurs in plate girders, but not in regular eye sections. Now coming to this one, regular eye sections. Now the design part. There will be three parts in the design: design for bending, design for shear, and check for deflection. Generally, inte మనం చేసేది. Okay. And design for shear, there will be two cases once again. Case 1 is light shear case, and case 2 is heavy shear case. Heavy shear case. So light shear case ఎప్పుడు అంటామంటే when the shear force acting on the beam is less than 0.6 times the shear strength of beam, then it is light shear case. When the shear force acting on the beam is more than 0.6 times the shear strength of beam, then it is called as heavy shear case. Because there is a difference between these two. If there is heavy shear on the beam, then the bending strength decreases. So kabatti ఈ కేసులో ఫార్ములా వేరు, ఈ కేసులో ఫార్ములా వేరు. Now let us see the bending with the light shear. This is the formula for design bending strength, MD equal to beta B into ZP to Fi by gamma m naught. జనరల్గా M అంటే Z into sigma కదా, సిగ్మా అంటే ఇది Fi by gamma m naught. So Z into F కాబట్టి జనరల్గా Fi by m naught, gamma m naught is the partial safety factor, and of course this is a special factor in case of steel beams. And if this beta B is equal to 1 for class 1 and class 2 sections, and this beta B is equal to 1 divided by shape factor, that is equal to Hg by Zp for class 3 sections. You have to remember this beta B value, 1 for class 1 and class 2, and Hg by Zp for class 3 sections. This is with light shear. Now let us go to heavy shear. So the formula is different from MD. So here MD equal to, this is the formula. Once again the formula is different for class 1-2 sections and class 3 section. This is the formula for 1-2, this is the formula for class 3. Okay. Now coming to design for shear. Of course, the design shear strength formula is given by ED equal to AV into Fi by root 3 into gamma m naught. ఆల్రెడీ డిస్కస్ చేసాము. జనరల్గా Fi by gamma m naught వస్తుంది. షియర్ కేసులో స్పెషల్గా ఇంకా తగ్గిస్తాం స్ట్రెంగ్త్, దట్ ఈస్ డివైడెడ్ బై రూట్ 3 వేస్తాం. మనం ఫస్ట్ చాప్టర్లో కూడా డిస్కస్ చేస్తూ వస్తున్నాం. ఎప్పుడైతే షియర్ వస్తుందో డెఫినెట్గా Fi by gamma m naught కాకుండా ఎక్స్ట్రా డివైడెడ్ బై రూట్ 3 వస్తుంది. దిస్ ఈజ్ ద స్ట్రెస్ ఇంటూ ఏరియా, gives you the shear force, shear strength. So now if the eye section is like this, about major axis bending takes place, then AV equal to this one. So H into, this is H into T, thickness of web. So AV equal to H into TW. This is the formula for AV. Area of cross section participating in shear. జనరల్గా ఒక ఐ సెక్షన్ తీసుకుంటే టాప్ ఫ్లేంజ్, బాటమ్ ఫ్లేంజ్ దే విల్ టేక్ బెండింగ్, వెబ్ వచ్చి షియర్ తీసుకుంటుంది. ఓకేనా, ఇది మీకు ఆల్రెడీ తెలిసిందే, మనం సెకండ్ ఇయర్ అసెంబ్లీలోనే డిస్కస్ చేసాము. సో వెబ్ వచ్చి షియర్ తీసుకుంటుంది, ఫ్లేంజెస్ వచ్చి ఫ్లేంజ్ దే టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ బెండింగ్. ఎందుకంటే ఫ్లేంజెస్ ఆర్ ఫార్ అవే ఫ్రమ్ ద న్యూట్రల్ యాక్సిస్, కాబట్టి దే టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ బెండింగ్. అండ్ వెబ్ ఈజ్ నియర్ ద న్యూట్రల్ యాక్సిస్, ఇక్కడ న్యూట్రల్ యాక్సిస్ ఉంటుంది కదా, కాబట్టి ఇట్ విల్ టేక్ షియర్. సో ఇక్కడ ఏవి అంటే వెబ్ ఏరియా అన్నమాట. దిస్ ఈజ్ ద వెబ్. అదే ప్లేట్ కట్టర్స్కి అయితే ఇది యాడ్ కాదు, ఇది మధ్యలో ప్లేట్ వరకే వస్తుంది. దిస్ ఈజ్ డి ఇంటూ టీడబ్ల్యూ. ఐ సెక్షన్కి అయితే ఈ పై నుంచి ఇక్కడ దాకా హెచ్ తీసుకోవాలి. నెక్స్ట్ ఒకవేళ ఐ యాక్సిస్ ఐ సెక్షన్ ఇలా యూజ్ చేస్తే మనం దెన్ ఏవి ఈక్వల్ టు దిస్ ఏరియా ప్లస్ దిస్ ఏరియా. ఇవి రెండు వర్టికల్ పార్ట్స్. నెక్స్ట్ చెక్ ఫర్ వెబ్ బక్లింగ్. Wherever we expect concentrated loads at all such sections, we have to check for web buckling. Generally concentrated loads రావు, so there will be uniformly distributed loads on the beam, but support దగ్గర reaction will be a concentrated load. So కాబట్టి డెఫినెట్గా సపోర్ట్ దగ్గర you have to check for web buckling. See, this is the beam, this is the column, and this beam and this column is connected by means of some seating angle. ఏదేదో యాంగిల్ పెట్టి కనెక్ట్ చేసాం అనుకోండి. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ సపోర్ట్, సీటింగ్ యాంగిల్. సో ఇక్కడ యూ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ ద వెబ్ బక్లింగ్. ఓకే, let us take this as B1, and the load dispersion angle is 45 degrees. So whatever reaction that R1 coming here will be distributed over a length of B1 plus N1. ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడ దాకా ఇంత దూరం ఈ లోడ్ R1 అనేది, ఈ రియాక్షన్ R1 అనేది డిస్ట్రిబ్యూట్ అవుతుంది. సో దిస్ లెంగ్త్ ఆఫ్ వెబ్ మస్ట్ బి చెక్డ్ ఫర్ బక్లింగ్. సో N1 అంటే దిస్ ఈజ్ N1, 45 degrees తీసుకుంటే ఇది N1 ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఇది D/2 కాబట్టి దిస్ ఈజ్ D/2. సో ఇది కూడా D/2 అవుతుంది. సో N1 ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ D/2. ఓకేనా? సో ఇక్కడ ఈ లెంగ్త్ అంటే కరెక్ట్గా మధ్యలో, సో వెబ్ మధ్యలో ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ అట్ మిడిల్, లెంగ్త్ ఈజ్ B1 plus N1 and thickness is TW. That part should be checked for web buckling. So this length multiplied by the thickness of web gives you the area of web which is participating in web buckling. So this is a length B1 plus N, this is the thickness of web, this is the cross section of this one. That part will be subjected to buckling because of the concentrated load, concentrated reaction. This is the cross section, and the web, the effective length of web is taken as LE equal to 0.7 D. Small d అంటే ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఇక్కడ this is small d, this is small d. స్మాల్ d అంటే క్యాపిటల్ డీలో నుంచి దిస్ రూట్ ఇక్కడ కర్వ్గా ఉంటుంది. దిస్ పార్ట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు డిడక్ట్, and thickness of flange also you have to deduct. So this is only D. This is straight portion. This is curved portion. This is curved portion, and this is straight portion. Small d. So effective length LE equal to 0.7 D. And for this cross section, I R values. So this is TW by root 12 is R minimum. I by E under root. Then slenderness ratio equal to LE by R minimum. This is the slenderness ratio. And generally we know that the flat plates comes under the buckling class of C class buckling. గుర్తుందా కంప్రెషన్ మెంబర్స్లో క్లాస్ ఏ బక్లింగ్, క్లాస్ బి బక్లింగ్, క్లాస్ సి బక్లింగ్, క్లాస్ డి బక్లింగ్. ఈ ఫ్లాట్ ప్లేట్స్ అన్నీ కూడా క్లాస్ సి బక్లింగ్ కింద వస్తాయి. సో క్లాస్ సి బక్లింగ్ కాబట్టి టేబుల్ 9C నుంచి యూ హ్యావ్ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ ద డిజైన్ కంప్రెసివ్ స్ట్రెస్. Next, check for web crippling. వెబ్ క్రిప్లింగ్ కూడా ఆల్రెడీ డిస్కస్ చేసాం. ఈ కింద పార్ట్లో క్రిపుల్ అవుతుందని. ఓకే, అండ్ దట్ ఇట్ అక్కర్స్ అండర్ కాన్సన్ట్రేటెడ్ లోడ్స్ ఆర్ రియాక్షన్స్. ఇక్కడ కూడా అంతే, B1 ప్లస్ ఇక్కడ లోడ్ డిస్పర్షన్ యాంగిల్ వచ్చి నాట్ 45 degrees, బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ టేకెన్ యాజ్ 1 in 2.5. 1 in 2.5. ఓకే, అండ్ దిస్ హైట్ ఈజ్ root radius plus thickness of web, and this N2 comes out to be 2.5 times, because the slope of this line is 1 in 2.5. So N2 is nothing but 2.5 times RR plus TW. RR plus TW. Then area of web participating in crippling multiplied by the stress Fy by gamma m naught gives you the allowable crippling load. This should be more than the shear force acting at the, or the reaction, or nothing but the shear force. And with this we have completed the theory part. Before going to see the problems, now let us see the formula for MP values. This is a simply supported beam with UDL, and of course I know maximum bending moment equal to WL square by 8. That is nothing but MP. MP equal to WUL square by 8. WU and ultimate load, factored one. Next, simply supported beam with concentrated load at midspan. Of course we know WL by 4 is the MP. And cantilever. In case of cantilever, maximum bending moment occurs at fixed end, so MP equal to WL square by 2. And in this case, W into L, so MP is equal to W into L. Then in case of propped cantilever, maximum bending moment occurs at fixed support. Okay, and this comes out to be WL square by 11.65. Okay. And continuous beam also, MP value is WL square by 11.65. So you just remember these values. Okay, now we shall move on to the solution of the problem.